Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AMX ELC, it's a tier 5 French light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Minsk, and this one is under the command of pipjivko. Well, they do say that you can tell how long somebody's been in the game by how they refer to this vehicle. Because if you were in the game for anything longer than 5 years, you probably refer to this as an ELC AMX rather than an AMX ELC, which is what it's called in the wiki. Well, it's a very unusual light tank. In fact, weighs 6 tons because it was supposed to be an airborne tank. Oh, now look at this. Got a Panzer T25. He's coming to sight. His 6 sensor's gone off and he knows he's being spotted, but pipjivko's not going to fire at him until he needs to, and at that moment he did. Now he can help himself if he knocks some of these trees down to provide himself with a bit more cover. Well, he's not doing so far. It's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. Did you notice that? Well, getting back to the vehicle. Yes, the reason it's called the AMX ELC in the game now is because this vehicle was made by the AMX company, and it's to the ELC project, which is to be a very light wheeled vehicle weighing about 6 tons, so it could be carried in an aircraft. And well, 2 companies came up with a solution. One of them was called Even and the other one was called AMX. And so the AMX was called, the ELC that was produced by the AMX company was called the ELC AMX, and the one that's made by the Even company was called the ELC Even. And of course both of those tanks are now in the game, and they've both got 90mm guns. In fact, this one, 90mm gun, oh, it's not a 90mm, he's got a 75mm gun. And in actual fact, that gun never actually appeared on this tank. It was a 90mm, and the 90mm gun on this tank could actually rotate all the way around. The turret could turn all the way around, but they could only do that whilst the tank was stationary. And the reason for that was that the driver's ports became unusable, so he couldn't actually see where he was going if they turned the turret all the way around whilst he was moving. In fact, not only the observation ports, but also his driving controls were out of his hands, so he couldn't do anything. Now it's got a crew of 3, and the commander and the gunner are actually in the turret, both in the turret, whilst the driver is actually in the body of the vehicle, and the engine is actually in the front of the vehicle. Gets 1 round into the Panzer 4H, reload time 3.73, and takes out the Panzer 4H. So he's got a kill, but he was spotted. This is where knocking down those trees becomes really useful, because it does hide you from the enemy. He actually spotted the gorilla on the enemy team. He's in the back there. Now this is a tier 5 game, he's a tier 5 light tank. Now he can see the gorilla, he could probably get shots on him. And with the 75mm gun, of course, he's turning his turret all the way around. The kill actually goes to the Panzer 4H on his team. He's doing a good job spotting so far. So apart from the historical anomaly that the fact it's got a 75mm gun where the turret turns all the way around, it should have the 90mm. Apart from that, it's well, they've mucked up the engine a bit. It's now got the hamster engine in it. It's not quite as fast as it used to be, but well, historically this tank is quite important because there is one of these in the tank museum at Samur, the Musée de Blind, and it's well worth taking a look at. This is an unusual post-war tank, and that M4A1 can't actually see who was hitting him, and now he's out the game. His 6 sensor's gone off now, so yes, I think he was seen by these guys up here, and they're firing at him. They're knocking those balustrades down, or the, not the balustrades, but the fences, or the stone walls. Okay, they've got their own ELC AMX. Now, I was getting back to that about the fact, the name. If you were in the game 5 years ago, it was called the ELC AMX back then. But now the Wargaming calls it the AMX ELC. So you can instantly tell if somebody's been in the game a long time, they'll call it the other way around. Tries for the M4A1, gets a shot into him for 110. 25 TP is a one shot, and he's sitting behind that helicopter at the moment. Oh, lovely shot! Beautiful! That's his third kill. Now the armor's fairly light, so the problem with this tank is if you get hit at all, it's probably going to do quite a lot of damage. And you haven't got a huge number of hit points, only 320, and there's the enemy AMX ELC. Jumps off. Despite the fact that it's fairly light, it's also quite good at doing damage to the enemy. And with a 90mm gun, and with very good control of your handbrake, you can actually do handbrake turns to do a lot of damage to the enemy. Handbrake turn and disappear into the distance. Oh, lovely kill shot there on the Panzer T25, but he was seen. I think it was that M4, so he's going to duck down again into cover. He is fairly low. Oh, no, somebody coming through the gates. It's the ELC. To your right, to your left, to your right. Puts one into the Churchill. Can he get another one? No, that one didn't penetrate. There's the ELC. That's why you were spotted. Now the ELC Ever 90 is now in the game, but that's a tier 8 French light tank. And basically they had the same problems with that tank as they did with this one in terms of controls and for the driver being able to see where he's going. A nice little jump there. pipjivko is an expert player. He's actually he was one of the people who actually supplied a lot of replays to us from long time ago in very old clients. So he's been in the game a long time, so he probably calls it the ELC AMX. And that Skoda is, well, he's getting a bit behind pipjivko, so he's pulled into the bushes to conceal himself from that Skoda, but that Skoda is headed for Arty. pipjivko's having a look at that AMX ELC because he could probably take him out. If he does, he might get seen. Oh, he didn't hit. He hit the tracks, and he was seen. So he's going to have to come down because that Skoda is going to be looking towards it. Oh, he's not. He's actually trying to fire at our Arty. pipjivko's going after him instead. Goes into the engine bay. 106. That stopped him temporarily, or has he stopped to take a shot? Well, there's another shot in. This one for the kill. Oh, well, he did get the kill. I see he set fire to the guy, actually, which was very lucky. One into the engine bay. Normally does that. Well, I say doesn't normally do it, but I mean, it does help if you fire into the engine bay, because you do enough damage, you will actually set the thing alight. Well, now he's got 5 kills. He only needs one more to get a Top Gun, but there's only 2 left on his team. Only 2. There's 5 of the enemy. Here comes the ELC. Oh, and he sideswipes him to take a kill from a RAM. And that's a Top Gun. Do you see the way he did that? He just did a little sideswipe as he went past him. And, well, he's lost 5 hit points in doing that, but what the hell? He got a kill. He hasn't been touched by the enemy yet, except for that ram kill he did. Now, the Churchill's over there, and we got somebody capping. Oh, missed there, but the Churchill is looking for him. I don't think the Churchill can see him. And that's another kill! 7 kills now. The enemy is capping. 2 in the cap. M4A1 going behind those pits, and he puts 1 in, but the M41's being chased, and the M41 goes, M4A1 goes down to the M41 with a shotgun, and he's ticked okay, so he's happy, but they are running short of cap time now. He needs to get a reset. Can he get a reset in time? 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he got a reset! He did, and he got a fire as well. The KV-1S goes up in flames. That's his second arsonist, and that's his Radley Walters. There's only 1 enemy left. It's a KV-1 he's capping. Now, the M41, he's willing to shotgun. He's actually closing on the tank. There's the KV-1. Now, he's at least a 3 shot. Second shot, he got 1 in, so that's reset. 2 shots in. This is to win the game. Yes, he does it! 115 hit points, wins the game. 9 kills. Very well done. Wow, that was some game, that was. Only 5 hit points of damage actually done by the enemy, and that was in a side swipe. And here's the end of battle results. It's an ace tanker for pipjivko in the AMX ELC bis. He managed to get an arsonist. He set 2 tanks on fire to burn them up. One of them with the Skoda, and the other one was the KV-1S. He also managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. A Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15 in that one. He got a Radley Walters Medal for getting 8 kills. He actually ended up with 9 kills in the end, so he only needed 8 for the Radleys. A High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. A Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And finally, a Defender for resetting the cap, getting at least 70 reset points or defense points in the process. And just look at the win rate on that game, 19,466. My God, that's a Super Unicum standard and some. I don't think there's many Super Unicums out there will be getting that sort of score in a while. That is a huge one. Let's have a look at the team scores and see how well he did. Well, he was the only player to get over 2,000 hit points. In fact, there was only 2 other players who managed to get over 1,000 hit points of damage. And they were the M10, RBFM and the Churchill on the enemy team. When it came to this player, which is pipjivko, 2,080. Wow. That was some emphatic win. He got 9 kills in that game. 9 kills. The next high scorer only had 1/3 of the number that he got. 3 kills for the M10, 2 kills for the Churchill and the enemy ELC. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,583 base experience points for him. 576 for the Wolverine. And, well, the next player who was that good was, in fact, the M10 on the enemy team. So only not many of his own team were that good. In fact, the only player who survived other than him was the M41 HMC, who did get a shotgun kill on that M4. Very well done to him. 258 hit points, 402 base XP. Very well played to Marcel XD66. I don't know if that's your real identity. We could just check that to see if that's his real one. Yes, it is his real one. Well done, sir. You supported your teammate and helped to win the game. As you say, the cute AMX assassin. Let's have a look at detail. 30 shots fired, 23 direct hits, 20 penetrations. Good penetration on that 75mm gun. Damage of 2,080 hit points, of which 764 were at more than 300 meters. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 9, and did 844 hit points of damage assistance. I think most of that was spotting. He managed to get 100 defense points in the end. In fact, it was more than 100, but that's the maximum that you can have. And on a premium count, he earned 46,803 credits. And after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and he did have to fire some premium ammo during that game, he ended up with a small loss of 10,871 credits, but I don't think you'll mind that for that performance. 6 bonds for the battle, for the awards, 2,374 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 4,749 experience points altogether. That was one hell of a game, it really was, and congratulations to pipjivko, and thank you so much for sending it in. It was, well, it was one of those inspirational games which makes you want to take out your own AMX ELC and see if you can match that performance. I doubt you will be able to, but I think if there was only one fault I would say in that battle was that pipjivko didn't knock down enough trees when he was sighted up against the centre. If you knock the trees down, it makes it very difficult for the enemy tanks, even if they come through the tunnel, to actually see where you are. They have to proxy spot you, and so knocking those trees down will actually protect you from tanks crossing on the west side of the map, as well as the tanks that come through that little tunnel. So that's the only suggestion I would make, but other than that, he did excellently. And that side swipe kill on the enemy AMX ELC, well, that was a beauty. He only lost 5 hit points by doing that. In fact, that was the only hit points he lost in the entire game. That's all. So it was a master performance for pipjivko. Well done and thank you. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. We have more replays like this on the way, and it'd be a shame if you miss one. Thanks for watching.